Hi everyone, it's Grace here, and I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but my long-distance boyfriend and I, John, we are approaching our first year anniversary, coming up on February 1st, and I am absolutely ecstatic about it because I ordered him what is, in my opinion, the best gift that I have ever given him. I absolutely cannot wait to give it to him and see his reaction. And you guys also get to see his reaction. What I did was, there is this website called LoveBook Online. LoveBook Online is this website where you can personalize and create your own book dedicated to anyone, basically. Whether it's your significant other, your best friend, a family member, anyone. You can just create a book and you can type whatever you want on the pages. Not only can you type whatever you want on however many pages you want, but there is also a wide variety of images that you can choose from, and you can just drag and drop the images to the page. Like, let's say for example you have a pet pug and you want to include your pug in the story somewhere. You can type in the search bar that they have on the corner while you're editing your book, and you can just type in pug and a pug will probably pop up, and you can just click on the image, you can drag it to the page, you can enlarge it, you can make it smaller, you can rotate it, you can flip it, you can put it anywhere you want on the page and position it anywhere. It is so cool. There are tons of images to choose from, which makes it even more personalized. And they even have these templates that you can customize to make them look like you. It's these cute little stick figures, and it's just this really cool thing. And I made one for John. I am going to let you guys see his reaction to it, and I'm also going to be reading it out loud. If you don't want to hear my monotonous voice reading this cheesy story out loud, because it's a little long, it's about like 40 pages, then I'll place this timestamp in the corner here, and you guys can skip ahead to his reaction. So, can't wait for you guys to see it. I hope you all enjoy, and I highly recommend this for an anniversary gift or just a gift for anyone who you love. I'm sure that they would greatly appreciate it. So, first of all, as you can tell, I am a huge fan of really ridiculous puns, as you can obviously tell by the title. So, if you all watched my first video, my boyfriend lives in Ireland, and I live in the USA. I traveled to Ireland to meet him in person for the first time. Because I went to Ireland and everything, you know, I saw a lot of sheep there. There are a lot of sheep in Ireland. I even bought a sheep plushie, and we played with it and everything. So I thought it was very fitting to choose a really cute sheep-like cover. It has two black sheep, a perfect match, and sometimes we kind of refer to ourselves as black sheep, because if you know how our love kind of stands out. Then I called it a baffling love story, as a pun, a baffling love story, because that's what it is to us. By yours forever, Grace Watwood. So, let's read. Alright. Dear John, this is a story I've written reminiscing our first year together. Our love has been so powerful that it deserves to be in a book of its own that we can forever look back on. You mean the absolute world to me and more, and for everything you've done for me and continue to do, you deserve to keep this. You are such a blessing in my life. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the extraordinary love and relationship you've provided for me since the very beginning. I love you ever so dearly, and this book certainly shows it. Happy anniversary. Proudly yours, Grace. Dedicated to the most special person who has ever walked into my life, and the greatest boyfriend in history, John Nolan. This is Grace. She was just an ordinary 17-year-old girl who went to school, came home, and stayed in her dreamy mind despite the practicalities of the real world. She was also completely oblivious as to what wonders would come her way soon. One day in early January of 2017, she stumbled upon a handsome young fellow on Facebook named John. She pondered. He's single. He seems like such a sweet person. I wonder if we would ever become a thing. This, however, was only a mere thought. Nothing new to a natural dreamer such as herself. Before she knew it, her dreamy imagination began to get the best of her again. Whether she wanted to admit it or not, she was falling in love. But why? After such a brief time of knowing of his existence. Even she couldn't understand the enthralling connection she felt with him. She spoke of him to all of her friends and just couldn't get him off her mind. Until one day, on the 1st of February, she discovered that he felt the same way toward her. The 1st of February was when they officially became a couple by confessing their love for one another, but the 12th of February was when they mustered up the courage to refer to each other as boyfriend and girlfriend. Before then, their exchanges were everything a couple would say to each other except for the labels. They were both so ecstatic to change their relationship statuses on Facebook. This was the beginning of something wonderful. They talked to each other more and more as their love blossomed, both through messaging and video chatting with each other. To their surprise, they found that they had a lot in common, making their bond even more powerful. You can pause and read these if you'd like. It's just a bunch of stuff that they happen to have in common. Only one problem, though. Grace lived in the USA, while John lived all the way in Ireland. How was she supposed to get there and meet the love of her life? 4 months into their flourishing relationship, after Grace graduated from high school, it was as if the universe heard their desires. She received just enough graduation money to travel to the other side of the world to meet her true lover. She was to stay there for 3 whole weeks. What an opportunity. The next thing the young dreamer knew, in the lively month of June, she was on the airplane to Dublin, where her beloved awaited her. This was her first time traveling alone, yet despite how nervous she was, she knew very well that it would be worth it. After a lengthy 6-hour plane ride, Grace arrived safely in Dublin. She wandered around the Dublin airport, excitedly trying to find their meeting place, until she found the double doors to where her special one should be, and at last, it was John. After a cuddle-filled car ride, the two lovebirds arrived at home, where Grace got to meet his wonderful family. Even with Grace's feelings of ecstasy, she was tuckered out from how prolonged of a journey it was to get there. So, she happily fell asleep after spending a bit of time with John and his family. However, even after she had awakened, she could have sworn she remained in a dream for the next 3 weeks. She loved going for walks with him in the Phoenix Park. The feeling of their intertwined hands paired with his soothing presence in such a breathtaking area was nothing short of magical, especially right after meeting the charming young man. She loved watching movies with him nearly every night, snuggled together on the sofa. So many laughs and cuddles were shared. Oh, and speaking of cuddles, a coupon, just for the handsome guy reading this. Although both Grace and John know that he doesn't even need a coupon for this. She loved getting the sleepy head up in the mornings, although sometimes she gave in to temptation and fell right back to sleep with him. Whoopsie. She loved having the opportunity to meet some of John's friends. He was so great at bringing people together, and she got along so well with them since they were all like-minded. She loved going on adventures with him. Exploring new places with the love of her life was a dream come true, and made her new experiences all the more awe-inspiring. No matter where they were, she always had a blast as long as they were together. Even when they were doing nothing at all. She loved enjoying the little things with him, such as feeding each other yogurt at the shopping center. Though she was a rural girl, she loved walking through the city with him and having new sights to see. She especially loved going to places like the coffee shop and music store with him. Oh, and speaking of going to places, another coupon for the lovely reader. Being the curious and slightly mischievous girl she was, she loved it when they ventured into John's old, no longer used college building. They found it to be very fun and interesting, even though they thought they would be caught a few times. Even though car sickness sometimes disgruntled her, she loved sitting in the car and gazing at the beautiful Ireland scenery while listening to music with him, especially since they loved each other's taste in music and had very similar tastes. She loved how confident he always was and how he was never afraid to be himself, like the time he was playing his new ukulele and singing to a caterpillar at the beach. Her favorite memory, though, would have to be when they stayed at the gorgeous holiday home in Clare. The nights were the most fun, cuddling each other in luxurious beds, watching movies and chilling in the spacious living room, and playing pretend with her new lamb plushie named Shamrock gave such charm to this 3-night stay. She loved how much of a silly Billy he was. He was always so energetic and goofy. All of his antics were sure to make her laugh. Not only was he the best at making her giggle, but she loved how they were always so silly and playful with each other in general. Funny dances, tickle fights, horseplaying, you name it. These childlike souls knew how to have fun. She loved how intimate they were with each other at all times. They could tell each other anything, lend each other a shoulder to cry on, and do anything with each other. This was unlike anything Grace had experienced in her whole life. She knew that they were especially made for each other. She just loved John all over, and everything about that angel. In fact, they were so close and intimate throughout her entire stay that they would often refer to themselves as 2 peas in a pod. John's dad even drew a picture of 2 peas in a pod inspired by them. Like the sheep she saw in the rural areas of Ireland, she knew that they were the black sheep among the fields of white sheep. Their love certainly stood out. But sometimes there comes a point where one sheep needs to be sheared and has to be taken away from its favorite sheep, no matter how close they are. And so it was time. 3 weeks after her arrival, she kept reminding herself that it was not a farewell, but rather an until next time. It was tough going back to the USA. She felt as if she had left a part of her behind, far, far away. And though she still talked to John every single day, it just didn't feel the same without his radiating warmth by her side. That was an unintentional rhyme. But she knew it was best to remain optimistic and hopeful. She should be motivated to move on with her life and work toward her goals, including meeting John again and pursuing their dreams together. She was thankful for the amazing experiences she got to share with him, and she was so thankful for John in general. He was always there for her, constantly lifting her up and showering her with his gentle love. She couldn't get over how sweet of a soul he was. Meeting him truly was fate, and she knew, within her heart, that they would live happily ever after, together until the end. I love you, John, for eternity. The end. Your gift now.
Yay!
Make sure
Yay.
I can see you.
Yay, you're recording me.
Yes, I am recording you.
A baffling love story. By your... Oh! Oh! Oh, did you make this?
See for yourself.
Oh! But yours forever. Oh! A perfect match. A baffling love... Did you get this published? Or something? Is this like a published book?
I'll answer all your questions after you look at it.
Author's autograph, Grace Waffle. I love EU.
Aw.
Oh, wow, what? Oh my gosh. Oh. I just freaking turned the first page and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, oh my god, how did you do this? I don't get this.
Read it.
Oh my god, he certainly shows a happy anniversary. Proudly yours, Grace. Oh. Oh my god, there's more page. Dedicated to the most special person who has ever walked into my life and the greatest boyfriend in history. John knows you. Oh. This is Grace. She was just an ordinary 17-year-old girl who all you made is a story.
What is it?
It's just, I'm doing some kind of pose on the phone and you're like, oh, hee, Do you know what? I have to marry you in the future. This is amazing. Oh my gosh. You made all this stuff. My God, even the chest of drawers, that's attention to detail. You felt the same way towards her? Oh, I have to marry you. She wandered around the Dublin airport excitedly trying to find her meeting place. So she found the double doors to where her special one should be. Yay! Oh, at last it was John. Love coupon. Good for one free back rub. Expires never. Oh, okay. Great. Cool. Even when they were doing nothing at all, I remember that day.
Yeah.
Are you just relaxing today? Yep. Oh. Oh, I remember this. Oh, I remember the dog. Oh, there's 2 doggies. Oh. That they would live happily ever after together until the end. I love you, John. For eternity. Oh, yeah. A baffling love story.
Yeah.
Oh, LoveBook. Oh, man. I'm so impressed. I'm really impressed. This is... Oh, wow. Oh, wow. This means so much to me.
Oh, I'm really glad it does.